Hello again. Welcome to part 3. So we talked about how there are limitations to Poison Controls' national poison database system because it's a large data registry, and the information that's the most important clinically is oftentimes entered into these free text spaces that really there's not enough guidelines on for how they should include that information in there and how to avoid like the omissions, the inclusion of like information that might be harmful, and bias. I think I stated this, but even if I did, you still need to hear it again. The calls to poison control are voluntarily submitted. That means that it is not mandated for your healthcare provider to contact poison control. So, like, all of the information that's in there is numerator data. It's not a true denominator. We don't know how many kids out there in the United States currently have been poisoned by water beads. So when people say to me that, oh, what happened to Kipley is rare, oh, what happened to Kennedy is rare, we don't know that. We do not know that. So we can't assume how many kids have been exposed to these toxicant containing beads, how many kids have ended up in the hospital with obstructions because of these stupid beads, how many kids have stuck them in their nose or their ears and required surgery to remove them. Remember, case study submissions are voluntary. News reports are voluntary. And calls to poison control are, you're supposed to say voluntary, it's voluntary. They talk about in the paper that the quality of these studies and the conclusions drawn from them are only as good as the source from which they come. The paper talks about how it's important for the toxicology community to consider these limitations when evaluating the rigor of registry studies. And I think that goes for clinicians as well. Medical toxicology and occupational medicine are often neglected areas of study in medical school curriculums. The reason I bring up occupational medicine is because play is the occupation of childhood, and toys are the tools and materials of the trade. There are multiple papers which discuss the lack of inclusion of occupational environmental medicine and medical toxicology in medical school curriculums. I think it's important that we consider how non-toxic labeling and a lack of training in these areas impacts decision making.